into contributions. You had that on there, Patty.
Hey, he sent a new link out a few minutes ago.
Honeydew, mute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. They trying to get in. Okay, wait. Okay, sorry.
Patty, you have down here contributions. Who's doing contributions?
I am.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, all those who have not turned in a scholarship dues or their contributions, I'm sorry, please do so. As we were speaking earlier, some of us have can Zelle Honeydew or make some type of arrangements to get your money out to her. Whether we have to come pick up a check or you just drop off a check, let's do this right away, as well as your getting caught up with your club contributions. That's all I have for contributions. Grasshopper.
Unmute yourself, Grasshopper. You're still muted, Grasshopper.
Am I okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are.
This thing, it mutes on its own. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Moving right along, we'll go into, since we've done scholarship donations, let's go into cookout August 22nd. Who's doing that?
I got you. Look,
Unmute yourself, Big Easy.
okay, I'm sorry, guys. The Village of Maston called this week. They've canceled all permits due to the virus. Money will be refunded to us within a 2 to 3 week span via check. And I would turn it back over to Honeydew. So August 22nd is an available date. Now, Patty has checked into going to the fire brigade. Patty, you want to take it from here?
Unmute yourself, Patty.
So I contacted the fire brigade and they do have that date available. I was able to, they want me to get back with specifics. But we do have to have a specific RSVP just to make sure that we have capacity. They have an outdoor space as well as an indoor space. They have regular practices of doing temperature checks and they have plenty of hand sanitizer everywhere. But I just need to give them the specifics and I use the time of 11 to 4. And they said that that is available if that is something that we would like.
Say, Patty,
Okay.
what are the chances of us blocking off the parking lot and use part of that as a social distancing area?
But they have patio space available.
They have 50 seats in the patio, and then they have the indoor portion. So I will need to make sure that that is an idea, and I would just need to talk with them specifically about it.
You do realize that it's Kedzie and we will be exposed to any traffic coming down Kedzie though, correct?
Well, we would have to park somewhere else and not in their small parking lot.
That might be a problem.
Concern is.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
we
have
need
a
to
question.
go ahead.
What's the capacity of their indoor space?
With it being 25%, I believe it's 50.
Because if it's a bad weather day, then what options do we have? Just 50 people?
For both sides, maybe, Patty?
Yeah, I can check and make sure both sides are open. I know Q side doesn't open normally until 3 o'clock. But they've been, the side that we were in before, they've used that now just as formal meeting space or party space. The actual bar there now opens every day at 3, either 3 or 5 to 11 p.m. So That space is also available, but I don't know if we've actually included that or included in that space. Or if they're just gonna use the one side and the outside.
Patty, would, at the fire brigade, would we be barbecuing or are we bringing food in?
That would be a club decision. I don't know what we would normally do.
What will be the cost to the club, Patty?
It would be the same. I mean, we haven't done the other meeting time, so it would probably be included in the, whatever our donation is to them quarterly. Because we met in February. Did we meet at the beginning of March? So we didn't meet April, May, or June. So that would be our, in July, so that's 4 months. So I would say it's regular donation as part of what we would do for our club meeting.
Okay.
And hey, I got a question here. I got a question, Vice President. Mr. Ed.
Go ahead, sir.
Now, don't we pay this, what is that, fire brigade? Don't we pay them an annual fee or we have to pay monthly on this? Or is it as we use it?
Big Easy, can you answer that question?
Well, we haven't given them anything yet. I haven't written any checks to them. If you look at your reports, I have written no check. Nobody's told me to write a check to anybody yet.
Shit, my battery.
And that's for the whole year, right? So far, you haven't written a check.
No, I haven't. Nobody's asked. Nobody's given me a voucher for a check.
Yeah, because I was about to say, we're not even using the place. And then the last time we used it, we were boxed in from the other side. So we weren't the only ones there. And with this social distancing stuff, if they've rented out part of the area to us and another to the other side, it's going to be tight.
Well, in this case, Mr. Ed, we will have the whole facility on the larger side as well as the patio. Now, as
Okay.
far as the dollar amount that we're obligated to pay them, I think Patty would be better off letting us know what our terms were. Either Dream can chime in and let us know if there were any annual terms that we were supposed to meet with them.
We were supposed to be, we gave them, when we filled out the request about that, we gave them a dollar amount that we would use monthly. And so we should either, then they said we could pay it however we wanted to. We could pay it quarterly, or we could pay it monthly, or we could pay it yearly. So, I mean, we should probably at least pay it quarterly in regards to the first part of the year where we use the facility. And then maybe for this event, I do have what is the cost of the facility and the terms to ask them specifically.
Okay, can you tell us, remind us what that cost was? Do you know offhand, or you can send it out in an email later?
I think it was $200.
Monthly, or every time we meet?
Is that quarterly?
Monthly.
Monthly.
Monthly?
Monthly, okay, thank you. All right, as far as going back to Big Art, what Big Art said, or someone said, I'm sorry, about barbecuing, why don't we look at and see if a menu, put together a menu, a barbecue style menu, and ask Grace to cater it, because without our meetings, we really have cut Grace totally out. So I think it would be appropriate if we use her.
Do we need to vote on that?
I just say, remember Shalom Aleichem, my brothers.
I mean, the political ways, yeah, we can vote, but like Big Easy said, we haven't used her and she is our caterer, so we should use her. But if we want to vote, we can be political about it.
And I understand that it's something, you know, we are using her.
He went silent, what happened?
He muted. Unmute yourself.
You know, I'm tired of this thing. She's our primary vendor in our food, for food. I think we need to ask her if she can handle that volume, and yeah, let her cater it, and then people bring other things as they choose.
Well, Grasshopper, she can handle it without any doubt. That's
Okay.
her line, that's her business. But, and I think this time we will be closed of fair. We won't be bringing anything in, and we won't be bringing any outside people. It'll just be for the club.
For the club.
Yes.
I just have a question. Just in case if we go back on lockdown again, are we obligated to this, to pay them that day, whether we use it or not?
Well,
I
I
would
think
say
we
yes.
had an obligation to a contractual obligation that we have to meet anyway. So
Oh, we did?
Prior to COVID, to shut down. We agreed on what we want to do. Do we want to actually have the function?
No, the function they're talking about is our cookout. We usually have it outside.
And I'm saying, have we, so the consensus is that that's what we're actually going to do.
So Ms. T is asking, does the club feel we need to have the cookout at this time, I think. Is that correct?
Exactly.
well, several people have asked about it. So if you guys want to take a vote on it and see what the majority says, Ms. T,
Well,
I
you
mean,
said
let's take it to a vote.
several
We
people
got
have asked about it, but were these club members or guests? Because
club members. We got too much feedback. Somebody need to cut off something in the background.
The email I just sent to you. It's with 20.
Jojo, mute yourself for a minute.
because we
Okay.
said it's just
Try that
gonna-
again, Ms. T.
it's just going to be the club members. So were the people inquiring club members or guests that were interested in coming?
No, club members only. Will have to be a closed event due to the virus, due to the amount of people that we have, and due to the size of the facility. We can only have like about 60 to 70 people there. That would require just our club, and that's if everybody shows up.
I was just saying what the people that you said were inquiring. It was the club members inquiring?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I would almost like, since we have so many people retiring this year, like to see us maybe push it back a little back towards the end of the year, since we're not doing a black tie or anything, and wait to see what happens with the numbers and everything. And
Okay.
plan something for that.
Yeah,
And
no,
so
okay.
just a cookout.
That
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
and Big Easy, I was going to suggest something similar to that due to the fact of everything's being pushed back. And keep in accordance with the whole COVID scene right now.
I have no problem with that, you all. None at all.
Well, let's keep in
It's-
mind too, that as Illinois begins experiencing some increases in their statistics related to COVID-19, there may be some changes in August, September, particularly as we get toward, as we start moving toward school coming back into
Open.
session.
Yes, sir.
So if we are going to change, well, perhaps maybe we need to put it to a vote to see if we need to push it back another month or so.
Well, Honeydew made a good suggestion. Let's go toward the end of the year, into what would normally be our end of our riding season. If we just take it back to then, October, November, we'll have a better hold on the virus situation and what Illinois is doing, and we can have it then. I mean, it's an indoor event, so we won't be that bothered by the weather.
I would agree.
Sounds
Chemo,
feasible.
Casper, what you all think about the place being available during that time? We have to check.
We'll have to check as long as it's not it's getting booked up fast, but as long as it's not a Sunday and a football day, we might still not have a problem with it.
Well, we have to work around that, you know, we can be a
Right.
little more flexible. I'm
I
sorry,
agree.
Jojo, I
We'll
cut you
just,
off.
I'm sorry. No, sir. I agree. We'll work around whatever their schedule is and have it at a later date so that we don't get caught up with the COVID issues.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I have a question.
go ahead.
This preacher, just, and I probably missed this, but I'm just wondering, so the fire brigade, we haven't been there since March. Are we obligated still to pay them for the months we have not been there?
Patty, you can unmute yourself, but one of the things that I would suggest on this is we need to catch up and anything that we're behind on with them and keep to the spirit of our contract.
But the only thing about that is that when the state was shut down, they were trying to help tell people that if you owe rent, if you owe landlord, if you do this and that, they put some things out now for people who haven't been paid business-wise, even 501c3s and everything else. So I don't know if the fire brigade is going to still hold us to that contract since we could not move during those times. And I think that we should check with them first before we start writing them a check.
Absolutely.
We
Definitely
need to
check
ask
with
them.
them.
I beg it.
I can definitely check with them.
Right, because they might be under the same thing. If we weren't shut down, we really could not do anything and they couldn't open their doors for us. So they might have been reimbursed for all the money that they missed already because the grants are out there. So I wouldn't want to just write them a check for this. I just think we need to check with them first.
I have a question, maybe you can answer, Patty and Honeydew. Are we saying we're paying rent or are we making a contribution to their cause? Because there's a big difference.
Well, I meant the donations. I might have used the wrong terminology. Our donations.
Well, in that terminology, if we're making a donation to their cause, I don't know if the virus will have any effect on that, right or wrong.
But no, I was speaking in terms of a contract, a contract that not to be not in, in compliance with the contract that we have written. It seemed like when they shut the state down, all that stuff was null and void. I thought.
Right, it was. I mean, only thing,
null and void. Right.
if we paid anything, it'd be the $200 for that 1 month that we used.
Right, exactly. Not that.
Because everybody shut down, all payments
The whole state.
to organizations that stopped.
Okay, so we're in our
Chemo
contract. I'm sorry,
Chemo and Honeydew have it right on the head. Whatever contractual obligations we had at that time were negated when we went through a state shutdown. They are the property owners. They can tell us what their expectations are from us going forward. And do we have to establish any other new agreement?
Okay, my question is this, you all, and I don't know if it's been answered. Does our contract say we're paying rent, or are we making a donation to their cause? That's my question. Because if we're paying rent, yes, I understand. I agree 100% what Honeydew, Chemo, and yourself are saying, Grasshopper. But if we're contributing to their cause, their 501c3, because that's in my mind, that's how I thought we set it up, so we can complement each other.
Right.
Does that negate? Does the COVID-19 negate that? That's my question, and I don't know if it's been answered.
Hello? Can I chime in if I may?
Yes, sir.
Is there within this contract that you speak of, is there any kind of clause in there that says anything that's foreseeable that it may alter the contractual terms? Because as we all know, this was an unforeseeable event. So within that contract, is there any kind of clause in there that states that?
I don't know of a clause in there, but
most contracts are a use. It's an agreement for use. The property belongs to another entity. We are using it on a periodic basis, basically the first Sunday of every month. And we have a written agreement, I believe it's written, a written agreement to use it on those periodic basis, subject to any changes that we might ask of them for. I don't know if we can call it writ per se, but it is an agreement of use, and it's enforceable.
Yeah, then that's my point.
Yes, it
there
is
anything
enforceable.
in there that dictates it.
Patty, you still muted. Okay.
I just think that Patty, let her check and see what they say, because they,
When I
they
talked
might
to
not
Terry,
be, well, they
when I
might
talked
not
to
be
Terry
as hard
last-
as we think.
when I talked to Terry last week, she said, just let them know when we gonna start back meetings. That's all she said. So everything still stays the same whenever we start back. And, she understand we got an older crowd. And I told her, I said, maybe a minute once we see how this pan out.
Okay, that's sweet of her. She's a sweetheart, so thank you.
Mhm.
But I do feel like we need to pay for the month that we did go.
All you gotta do is send me a voucher. I'll send me a
Absolutely.
voucher and send me a voucher and I'll write the check.
Okay.
So I got the new vouchers, right? I emailed them to you.
I don't have the new voucher.
I'll send you one today.
All right.
Send me a voucher, tell me to do it, and I'll do it.
Okay. Moving on.
All right, move.
One
Go
other
ahead.
thing, on August 22nd, since we're moving our cook-in to a different date, what do we do? Can we do a ride that day? And I propose a Lake Geneva ride.
I would like
Anybody?
that.
I wanna go to Lake
I
Geneva.
would love it. We haven't done a whole lot of riding this year, so that would be great.
Before it.
Okay. All right. Okay. We'll work on putting that together. Go ahead, Grasshopper. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I don't know if we need to put that to a vote or not, but like you said, it's something we put together, and that's one of those things. Earlier today, I said I was going to go out riding after we finish this meeting. That doesn't require a vote. That just requires some people coming together and joining in and doing it. And that's pretty much the same thing that we're going to do August the 22nd.
Correct.
Let's move into new business. President's report, Big Easy.
Okay. Big R gave us a slight update on So Fine. I want to get that out of the way first. He said she's recovering well at home. I don't know if you all heard him earlier, so that's good news. The other thing I want to talk about is Cook County wants to make 2021 the year of the motorcycle, featuring Black motorcycle clubs. What they're requesting from us is a bio on the club's history, how it got started, and what is our main fundraiser. We need to have something in writing and spread the word to other legitimate clubs, none of the ones that Doc Calvin hang around, but some real nice ones, so they can get on board with this as well. I have to meet with them again on, I think, July 28th, and I'd like to give them some information at that time. Okay?
Okay, who are you proposing write this bio?
Well, we already have the bio.
Hey, we got palm cards.
It's already written.
We already
It's
have,
on,
okay.
right, we already have ours from the troopers, but
on the history.
and what we want to do is find out what is our main focus, our main charitable fund. Would that be the fundraiser for the scholarships?
I think that's our primary one.
Okay,
Primary
then that's the one we'll go with. So I'll give her the bio that we already have written, and there's some more added information. They want to feature this next year. They're going to do it via probably Zoom, because COVID-19 does not look like it's going anywhere. And they will present us with something along with the other clubs.
All right.
Any questions?
All right, next on the agenda. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Big Easy. Like I told you, the members of the CMC, I would need permission from the club if I was to ask them if I can come to their meeting and bring up this information to them, to be able to go to the meeting representing Buffalo Troopers.
I told you we didn't have a problem with that, Doc. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
What is CMC?
Explain that to him, Doc.
Chicago Motorcycle Clubs. That's all the clubs in the Chicagoland area. They have a more or less like a sit-down commission, and we're not members of the CMC.
How many 1%ers are with the CMC
I
currently?
missed a little bit of that.
Now, I just asked how many 1%ers are members of the CMC commission, so to speak.
That I couldn't tell you because, like I said, I have never been to none of their meetings.
Okay.
So I think that's something that definitely needs to be checked out before the club gets associated with it.
That's why, okay, in my opinion, you all, Doc was going to just to observe first before he speaks out. He wanted permission from us. I granted that so he can go and observe, only to observe and see what it's about. See who all's participating before we speak up.
I agree with that. I agree.
Okay.
All right, if we're gonna move on, what?
I can get a meeting with the president of the CMC, Mr. Mann, and let him know what our intentions are.
Okay.
I thought you were just going to tell them about what Big Easy was just saying about the year to 2021 for the bikers. No.
Well, honey, that is true, but like Grasshopper said, we're kind of concerned with who else is involved in the CMC. They don't want 1%ers.
I know, but I thought that I didn't know the CMC was the one that was sponsoring this. It is? I missed something.
No.
I didn't think
CMC
so.
is not. No, the CMC is not sponsoring it. But if he's going to go and give information, he want to be careful who he's giving the information to.
Okay.
And inviting to come out.
But I'm sorry, I thought you all said Cook County was sponsoring this, right?
Those were two different topics.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute myself again. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Clothing drive for veterans. Who's doing that?
Casper, when you get that potato chip out your mouth, you can say something. them Johnsons over eating a lot.
Say
man.
Big,
and we
Big
over
Easy.
here.
Big Easy,
Yes, sir.
this is Green. Big Easy.
Yes.
All right, listen up, club. First of all, is there any documented literature regarding this so-called 2021 year of the motorcycles or the club, Black Club?
The only documented we have now is what Pret Winkle's assistant sent out after a Zoom meeting. It was just a recap of the Zoom meeting we had last week.
All right, so listen, first of all, you need the documentation. Secondly, as far as if Pret Winkle sent this out, what's the problem with giving that information of the club? The CMC has contact numbers and addresses for the various clubs that are in their organization. This is not a Buffalo Trooper event, okay? Why not the documentation, same thing we received, why not that be sent out to these various clubs and they can choose, those clubs that they want to participate. This should not be led by the Buffalo Troopers. Everybody understand what I'm saying? This is not a Buffalo Trooper event. This is a political event by Tony Preckwinkle. I have no problem with Tony Preckwinkle, but this is not something that we should be spearheading. And it's not enough information on exactly what that entails. What is the year of the bikes or motorcyclists or black clubs? What does that mean?
She wants to feature the black motorcycles inside of Cook County, Illinois, as well as I think she said Michigan as well. But the email is just, go ahead, I'm sorry.
There needs to be, you need to look at the documentation, guys, first. You need to look at everything that's involved here because from what I'm hearing, Doc, you talking about going to CMC meeting or meeting with this Mr. Mann. Listen, you need the documentation and you need to know what's going on. And also, I need to know, why are we spearheading it or why are we up front with this?
Dreammaker, if I can try to put some clarity in this, and I'm only giving my understanding, but my understanding is that Preckwinkle wants to do something for motorcycle clubs in Cook County. And basically she's gathering some information about it, and whatever else she intends to do with it, they're going to do it. And I have to believe that if Tony Preckwinkle is involved in this in any kind of way, we are not going to spearhead anything. I do believe, however, that this issue of CMC came up when somebody said, can I go to the CMC meeting to get an idea about who they are? And I think those were two separate issues. I'll stand down and let somebody answer that.
All right, well, Doc suggested going to the CMC meeting, but what I'm telling you guys is this, and telling the club is this. First of all, they got the information, just like I don't have it, but Doc may have it, of who the CMC represents and all the clubs that's involved with the CMC. The CMC does not represent all black clubs that's in Chicago.
No.
Okay, and as far as outlaw clubs that are in the CMC, Doc and I, and if any of you know the set, know that there's more than, I would say, at least 4 outlaw clubs that are involved in it. So, you know, I just don't. I'm trying to understand what is our role in involvement as far as getting the word out to these motorcycle clubs.
She asked us to assist in getting the word out. I spoke with Doc because of his being familiar with the CMC, knowing that he would know how to get in touch with Mr. Mann and to disseminate that information to them. That's it. That's all. Okay, then, as long as you know, Doc, I got no opposition to that, but you just need the documentation to give to Mr. Mann, because it's hard to articulate it right now, as from what I'm listening to, what exactly is this going to be about. And if you got something from Tony Preckwinkle and the Democratic Organization of Cook County, then that's easy enough to pass out to those individuals who are running the CMC. Right now, it's just an email covering the Zoom meeting that I sat in on a week ago. That's it. That just, it's the groundworks right now. All right, then maybe Doc or Big Easy or JoJo, maybe you need to meet with Tony Preckwinkle's people and get a little bit more information before we go involving ourselves. To, you know, that's no problem with us getting out information, but they can get it out just like us. Okay. Well, I guess what you're saying, we should just give them the CMC's information and they can reach out to them. Is that what you're saying? That's what I'm saying. Okay. Amen. All right, Doc, if you could give me that information, I'll pass it on over to Ms. McCoy.
Not a problem.
Thank you. They got a website, don't they? Doc, they do have a website, don't they?
Well, I know they had a GroupMe page, but I guess they got a little bit upset with me and they kicked me off their GroupMe page. So okay. I'm only on the GroupMe page, which announces all events now, motorcycle club events. Okay, but they do, listen, they're supposed to be organized. That means that there's some way of reaching out to that CMC because they pass along information to the various clubs that are involved with them. Yeah, if you guys understand where I'm coming from, is that we're being asked to assist. And I just want to know
You know, what is this all about? How does it benefit us?
I don't think it's going to benefit not one individual club at all, the way I look at it. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's going to benefit us at all.
Okay.
Other than notoriety, it being acknowledged in Chicago, seeing what you have started and how it has grown.
But what we need to make clear is that, that it's not gonna be anything that would be to our detriment either. Because even if we reach out to Prepwinkle's people, if she thinks that we're representing, passing this information off or suggestions of people she should contact, as long as she knows that it's not us doing it. Because I don't know if more people actually understand, that there are 1%ers or what the 1%ers represent.
Well, that was mentioned. I brought that up in the meeting, and this is not us approaching Prepwinkle office. Their office approached us after the Unity ride, and this is what she wanted to do after she seen what the turnout was from the ride for Unity, or I'm sorry, what was it? Unite, Don't Fight ride. This is why she, wants to do this. And her assistant name is Al something. It's on the email. I'll send it out to you all.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
This is for 2021, right?
Yes, sir.
Why don't we get a small group, 4 or 5 members, to put together a proposal for us, the whole club, and then we decide if we want to be a part of it or not.
Okay. I have no problem with that either.
Because we just going back and forth.
Well, I don't think we're going back and forth. Dream brought us some valid points that we need to address. And I don't think we're going back and forth. It's just something we need to do.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
What's next?
Moving right along. We were supposed to be on clothing drive for veterans.
Right. That email was sent out to everyone. Casper, did everyone get that email?
I didn't hear you.
Did we lose Casper?
I don't see her.
All right. That email was sent out as a organization is doing a clothing drive, somewhat like we did for the church over on 87th Street. This time it will be for veterans. I'm sorry, I don't have the dates. I thought Casper had them.
Hold on,
but-
I have it.
okay.
You hear me? I'm here.
Go ahead.
The email is, it's from Cynthia Merritt. She's working at a veterans rehabilitation center and works with veterans to give them a second chance at life. She would like to see if the Buffalo Soldiers are willing, this came directly to our website, are willing to help with providing clothing to vets for the purpose of professional looking job interviews. If this is something your chapter can help with, please use the contact information, and it's cmerritt@lifehousegroup.com, and she left her phone number.
Is there a date or time frame that we need to do this?
She did not have a date on there. We would need to contact her if that is something that we can do.
Okay. Well, I'm asking the club, is that something that we're interested in doing? Seeing that many of you all are veterans. Hello?
I'm all for it.
I don't have a problem with it.
It's just donating clothing, right?
Yes.
Professional clothing for interviews.
Oh,
Grasshopper, can you put it to a vote, please?
Hold on. Let's get some clarity. 1 second. Jojo, we're talking about professional clothing. So we're talking about slacks, shirts, ties, suits, and shoes. Blazers. Yes, sir.
Blazers.
Dress shirts.
Suits that can't nobody fit.
Well, we don't know.
this
You
male,
got- you-
this male and female, right?
Male and female, yes.
Male and female, yes. So all those who have those zoot suits still in the box with moth holes.
If it's got mouth holes in it, keep them, but.
Keep them. That's what I was about to say. Keep those.
Why don't we put it to a vote? Everyone will need to unmute themselves, and all in favor of joining in this endeavor, say aye.
Point of order.
And we all give a thumbs up if we're for it, and then that way we can see.
Can I get a point of order?
Who's that?
Doc.
Go ahead, Doc.
Okay, do we have a projected date of when we're gonna do this?
No, not as of yet. It sounds like this is going to be something ongoing with her program. So when we get a date that we want to do it, we'll just chime in or call her, I'm sorry, and let her know when we can drop off the clothing.
Right. Anyone opposed to doing it? Thumbs down and say nay.
Please send out an email giving us a date and the details.
Okay, I don't hear anybody, nor do I see anybody with a thumbs down. It looks like the ayes approved it. Casper, I believe you'll send out the information so that we can all be aware of when we're going to do this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Moving along. Is there any more on the clothing drive?
No, not for me.
Okay, Vice President's report.
We currently had 10 participants to sign up and send in applications for the scholarship program. 5 of them actually scored above 20. So I would like to ask the committee to take a vote, the members to take a vote that I am approved to go ahead and contact those 5 and inform them that we will be offering them a scholarship if they provide us with their school information. End of the Vice President's report out.
Okay, if that's the end of the Vice President's report, you are asking for a vote. Is that right?
That's correct, sir.
And how do you want that vote worded?
Thumbs up any kind of way, sir.
No, he's saying, how do you want it worded?
To accept?
Yes, to accept my my report.
Okay. So unmute yourselves or give us a thumbs up if you agree. If you don't agree, give us a thumbs down and say so.
Doc, aye.
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 We got ayes. Anyone opposed? Hearing none, the ayes carry. Moving along. Road captain report.
We don't have any.
Okay, no road captain report. Are there any ride reports? Who's doing that?
We don't have any rides, but I want to thank everybody who came out yesterday to help out the family and escorting the remains from the funeral home back over to the cemetery. During the rain, we greatly appreciate your help.
She called last night and she was very cheerful and very thankful for us for helping. She really was.
Great. I'm glad she called.
Yes, she did. Now,
Moving
you say
from
you don't
there.
have a ride report, but you just said we were going to Lake Geneva, right? No.
Well, we have to get that together first.
Oh, okay. I'm muting myself again.
No, don't mute yourself because we want you to make sure you get your bike clothes on and you're going to lead the pack.
I gotta get it out the shop first. It's in the shop. I'm having some things done to it.
Okay.
All right, let's have a little order here, Brenda. Let's move into committee reports. I don't know, Jojo, if you've completed with the scholarship. Do you have any more on scholarship?
No, I have no other information. Thank you, sir.
Okay, next thing on the committee reports is events. Does anyone have anything for events?
No events, but we have a couple of major dates that we need to address. Some real serious business here. This week, July 15th, we'll be celebrating the birthday of Honeydew. Or is it anniversaries at this time?
Oh,
So let's everybody make sure we wish Honeydew a happy birthday. Then a couple of days later, we have JoJo. JoJo will be celebrating his 25th birthday on July 17th. Make sure we reach out to our treasurer and our vice president and bug the hell out of them on those 2 days.
well, and from me to them, Happy New Year. All right. That leads us to open forum. Does anyone have anything for open forum?
I have something.
Go ahead, Big Eye.
If you could see your screen, Barbara's in the background. Y'all
Yes.
want to talk to us?
Hey,
Hey, Barbara.
Hey.
Also,
Hey, Barbara.
Be well.
Thank
Also-
God for your healing.
Thank God. You're looking good, Barbara.
also, retirement is not on the agenda for today. Does someone speak to that?
It's all in the hands of National right now. We turned in the paperwork. And Dreamer, you want to comment on it?
No, I have no information regarding retirement.
Okay.
All right, anyone else for open forum?
Yes. One other thing, tomorrow, let's not forget Alan Lake and family. Tomorrow's a memorial service for his mother at 10 a.m. on 8158 South Exchange and
8158.
South Exchange. I think that's Noble Funeral Home.
Noble Funeral Home.
Yes.
Noble Funeral.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And social
All right.
distance is required. So that's it for me.
Okay. Anyone else? Hearing none.
Yeah, I was approached by one of the funeral directors of one of the rides we did, and asked when they have a military funeral, will we be inclined to probably show up if they do a last ride for a veteran?
Did you say the Veteran Motorcycle Club asked you that?
No, a funeral director.
Oh,
Can everybody hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, good.
I think that's a request that should be made by the family to us,
Right.
the club. You know, we got a lot of veterans, retired veterans out here. And if you agree or commit to something like that, you may be doing rides every day. So, you know, maybe if a veteran's family contacts Big Easy or JoJo, that's something you can consider. But you know, the reason why we haven't done it for years is because of that same thing. There are a lot of veterans out here, and especially when you have no connection to them, none.
Anyone else? Okay, moving forward, if I don't hear anyone else, let's have roll call. Roll call.
Can you
Think
hear me?
everybody can unmute.
All right. So start with roll call.
somebody's got a TV on in the background.
Somebody got someone in the background going.
I can't
So
hear my name.
if you could, I'll actually do it as full screen. I do see everybody's name on here. But we'll take time and
Yeah.
slowly unmute and get yourself back. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to hear.
Unless we do something.
Rainmaker,
Buffalo,
first, Miss Annie. Here. Katsu,
A parent or teacher in the country who doesn't want schools. to
Lucky,
Safety of our children and the teachers and the school personnel.
Skip, Joe.
Present.
So that leads me very well to your.
Someone has a
Woman
TV
of
on in the
Destiny.
background.
Somebody
Please cut that
has
off.
got to turn that TV off.
Us,
He was on.
Hawks was on.
Doc Kevin,
Present.
Storm. Thank you. Cadillac. Wingman. Got red is not on. Smiley.
All the time.
Sozo. Slick. I saw Rick Foy earlier. Is he still on?
Yes, Rick is present.
Mr. Ed.
Yep, here.
Rusty. Rusty. Okay. Mrs. Grave Hunter, this is Sofon, Big R.
Here.
Not me. Matrix.
Somebody's phone is disturbing.
That's Casper.
Please. I don't have anything on.
We hear you twice.
That's the echo in the background.
Somebody has two devices on at the same time.
Yep.
Okay, Matrix, I see BJ.
BJ here.
Thank you. Chemo's here, Casper's here, Nikki. Clout. Easy Money. BK. Your Hairness. Preacher.
Amen.
Royalty. Here. Special K.
Death in family, sickness in family.
Squirrel.
Acorn.
Gadget. That's all.
Yeah.
All that.
Here.
Mo Better. Sweet Pea. Dr. J is here. Grasshopper here. Maddie. Miss Mac.
Here.
Mr. Mac, or Mac Man.
Here.
Rebel
Rebel. Big Daddy.
was just here in my house, so he missed him.
Big Daddy. Red Spider. Big Easy.
Here.
Stogie. LP is here.
Here.
Is here. Amazon. Last Man. Shazam. Pipeline. D-Nice is absent. Sherlock is absent. Honeydew. E.T.
Here.
Miss T.
Here.
E.T. is here.
Dub. Taz. Sweet Mama. Shorty Cool are all present.
Afloat.
Pipe Fitter. And Primo. Okay, that concludes roll call, and we have. I don't know how many present, but we have more than 4 present.
All right. That concludes roll call. Do we have a motion to close the meeting?
No, I want to ask a question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Honeydew. No, go ahead, you first.
I just want to know, since that's all was on the call too, if he had any special requests of us for tomorrow.
No, I don't. Thank you for offering.
Okay.
All right, I have one thing. Grasshopper,
Yes,
you want to tell us about your hang around?
my hang around.
When?
Oh, yes. Young lady who used to work with me many years ago, is currently a director of security over, I think it's Rich East or Rich South, one of the two, is
Rich East.
interested in Rich East.
Yes,
She's
sir.
interested in joining the club. I've invited her to be a hang around so she could get the flavor and we can get the flavor of her. I have handed her the application. She hasn't given it back to me to turn in yet, but she has expressed extreme interest in joining our club.
She was there yesterday, Grasshopper, so she had a chance to meet Dream, Annie, Honeydew, and a few others. So they know who you're talking about.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right. Do we have a motion to close?
Oh. Make a motion that we close and adjourn the meeting.
All right. That's.
I'll second
who's
it.
the second? Who was the second?
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed seconds the motion. Preacher, let's have a closing prayer and then that concludes the meeting.
All right. With all present, all heads bowed. Now, God, we thank you. May your grace and peace forever be with us. Now to our God and Father, for the glory that he have in heaven, God, place us along with your son, Jesus. Place us in your bosom. Keep us sanctified. Keep us in your goodwill. Lord, heal the sick, give sight to the blind, unstop deaf ears. Set the captives free, bring those out of bondage that are, God, captive right now in the name of Jesus. Now, God, as we leave this place, but never your presence, bring us back at the appointed time till we see one another again. Remain in your glory, remain in your sanctification in Jesus' name. Every believer said, thank God.
Thank
God.
Amen.
Thank God.
Amen.
Amen.
All right.
All right.
Thank God.
Blessings and safety to all of you, please.
Amen.
Where's the ride going to?
And everybody that's within the hearing voice, if you can, RYS, please.
Grasshopper, you gone?
No, I'm still here.
Where you riding to?
I was thinking about going to Indiana, but out to Quaker State, but I'm not sure about Indiana anymore.
Isn't Quaker State closed?
No,
Quaker
no, I've
State
been there.
closed.
No, they're not closed.
You sure?
I was there.
Exit 17, right there by
Exit 19.
yeah.
In Indiana's been open for a lot of things recently because I know, because
Oh,
I know
they
my
are
Coast Guard,
open. They are open and they're open.
They are open.
For indoor.
They are open.
Yes.
Are you going or what?
Because your strength is supported by ours. Depend.
Are you
Yeah, why
going?
not? Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Squirrel, can I ask a question?
What is that?
Why are you a squirrel and you got a cat riding behind you, brother?
The cat is hungry.
Because I'm on my gold wing and I'm out running his ass.
Yeah, then that cat must be on the Harley. So I'll leave that alone.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you understand.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that cat's a 1%er.
Oh.
Is anybody, that's right, I'm out running his ass. Is anybody going to be at Quaker State? I'm halfway there.
I didn't know they were still open, but yeah, I'm game.
I'll be there. I'll be leaving out in about 40 minutes.
I'll meet you there.
All right, good enough.
What exit is that?
19, exit 19.
Okay, thank you.
Hollis, you ready?
So what time is it real time of getting there?
About an hour. So about
I don't
6
even know.
40 minutes.
It's a little bit less
40 minutes
as long as there's no traffic.
40 minutes would be 6 o'clock.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are you leaving in 40 minutes or you gonna be there in 40 minutes?
No, I'm leaving here in about 20 minutes and I'll be there 40 minutes after that. So 6:45, I'll be there.
Okay. I'll probably come in my truck because I'm at my mom's house.
Oh, okay. I
See you
just need to
there.
get the ride in.
Peace.
Peace out. We'll see you.